Very nearly about something January 2025. Right, this is the third or fourth time I've tried to do this. Partly what I'm doing is I'm testing out a new 4K action camera, and also I've got a 32 float microphone, because every time I tried this before there was too much wind noise. Now this is a day where the winds are due to be getting up to about 50 miles an hour, which is a pretty good test for taking this stuff out on the bike, although obviously on the bike I'll have this in the helmet rather than outside. But there's a really big blast coming in right now, and what was happening is it was just, even with the external microphone on this by the way, let me just switch. This is the microphone on the camera, just the normal microphone on the camera with the wind noise switched on, and we've just had a lull, so switch back. Right, that was the microphone on the camera, and this is the 32-bit. What I've got, I'm not using my Zoom F2. I actually sold that. I did a test on that, and that was pretty good at wind noise. Zoom have come out with a load of new products, and I've got an H1 Essential, which is 32-bit float, but it's got a little screen. It's got a lot more control. I can do more things with the files and so on. So I will link the wind noise test and stuff that I did with the Zoom F2. That's really for sort of weddings, and it's only for lavalier mics. The nice thing about this one is that I can use it for other mics. It's got mixed reviews because there's a lot of handling noise and stuff on it, but you know what, for just lavalier work and on a tripod it will be fine. Anyway, sorry, I witter on as per normal. Just about something. Yeah, the name has changed again of the channel. Originally it was oh wow, there is a kingfisher. I can't show you that because the camera's not good enough for that. Sorry, this is very nearly about something. Originally this channel was just about sailing, because I was sailing but only just. And then it turned into very nearly about sailing, because I've had a 5-year hiatus of bad health, where I really couldn't do very much, couldn't get the boat back in the water. And to be quite honest, with a lot of this stuff, it wasn't really about getting Serenity back in the water, it was getting me back in a position where I could actually do something, do some sailing. And about 6 months ago, I had some clinical intervention, nothing to do with the original problem, which they're still not quite sure what caused it, although I do have my suspicions, but you'll probably have to wait a few years for that to work itself out. And I started to feel a lot better, to the point where I got on my motorcycle, which I hadn't been intending to ride because I didn't think I'd be able to. And then very recently, January the 4th, I had a small surgical procedure which needed a general anaesthetic. I don't have the results for that yet, but I'll update you at the end of this video because I'm filming this on the 27th. Got a meeting with the consultant on the 30th, and I'll get this video out about then. So basically what I like to do that's a really big gust of wind, so I don't know how if this fares, I'm going to be very, very impressed actually. Let me do a sort of a 360 turnaround while it's gusting quite hard. The wind normally gusts very strongly. That's me facing straight into the wind. The wind normally gusts very strongly around here. Whoa, the wind was actually turning me around there. I've completely forgotten where I was. So anyway, what I like to do is to give a bit of an update in January about the plans and so on. So the plans are very simple. First of all, I need to get myself back into shape. So one of the things I've been spending a lot of time doing is going out and doing my 10,000 plus steps a day. Not that long ago, if I did more than about 30 steps, I'd have to go and lay down in bed for an hour. If I did 300 yards, I'd have to go and lie down in bed for 2 days. I can now actually feel things building up. So I think think my immune system has settled down. I think my energy systems have now kind of normalised. I can stick in the aerobic region for longer. I'd love to be able to run, because both going out on Serenity and also going out on the bike, I'm going to need a bit more fitness. So this year will kind of be two things. If I don't get fantastically fit soon, I will go out on, now that's about 40-45 miles an hour, that wind. I will go out for a few day rides, and I needed to get my camera gear sorted out. So the stabilisation on this thing, which is an Acaso 7E something, basically it's a fairly cheap one. That was just to see if 4K 30 frames per second and image stabilisation was good. So I'll go out on the bike a little bit. The times when I'm not on the bike, I will do stuff with Serenity. The aim will be to get her ready to go back in the water by the end of this year, and then back in the water next year. And then I will either go off on a long voyage, or more likely I will keep her somewhere nearby and go out for sort of day trips, and I will intersperse that with some motorcycle travelling. And I might well get a different or a new motorcycle, because I will be bored of riding around the local areas, and my little Honda 250 is really not powerful enough to do motorways and things. So yeah, that's as much of a plan as I'm going to do. But the deal is, now that I'm feeling better and having not done anything for 5 years, I want to do a little bit of adventure. And an adventure is anything you want it to be quite honest. And for me, that's just getting out. Maybe I'll go motorcycle camping, maybe I won't. Don't know. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to show a clip of me going out on the bike, and I tried to connect a microphone directly to this camera, but it literally just blew out. You can't change the gain on this camera. It's an okay camera for the price, but sound wise it's absolutely rubbish. It just blows out, it clips with the voice, let alone the wind noise on the outside. I haven't had a chance to test it on the bike, but I'm hoping, to test the new gear with the Zoom H1 Essential 32 float bit. I'm hoping that's going to work an awful lot better, because there's nothing worse than having bad sound. I probably need to adjust and not jerk my head around so much whilst I am on the motorcycle, but you'll see that. So the only bit that was usable, and there's still a lot of wind noise, is me going through a village at 30 miles an hour on my way to a Honda dealership, talking about the type of bikes that I might decide to get if I do get a new bike. I'll probably keep hold of the Honda 250 for the rest of the year. I'll probably go up to Scotland on it. Don't know. Anyway, just going through the automated pumping station. We've got lots of dikes and things and water at different levels, and it's we've had a lot of rain, and it's all been excellent. When I did the first two, by the way, it was lovely sunny days, and although it's still sunny, it's not brilliant. And the first time I went out, actually, it was absolutely icy when I tried to do the first one without any sort of camera thing. But it is delightful around here, and I'm very lucky to be able to do this. Doing these 10,000 steps is making a big difference, so I'm very optimistic. But as I say, name of the channel is now very nearly about something, because I don't know what it's going to be about. I will have fun. I do this, by the way, this is just really a diary, and you're welcome to come along if this is your first time viewing. I'm not going to ask you to click like, subscribe and all that stuff. I don't monetize it, even though unfortunately there are adverts, because that's what YouTube puts on. And what I might do, I haven't quite decided yet, I might split the videos. So if I'm doing a boat DIY one, I might keep that completely separate from a travel one, because the odds are that people aren't probably going to be interested in both, or maybe you are, I don't know. But anyway, let's get on. Oh, there's a train going past. Let's go. Can you see that? You won't be able to see that. No, you won't be able to see that. It's too far away. Again, I've forgotten where I was. Train, squirrel, puts me off. Yeah, anyway, let's get back to me on the bike, a little bit noisy, going out to a Honda dealership. And to be honest, there's a lovely cafe there, and I had a great big bowl of cheesy chips, and that was fantastic. Right, I'll see you at the end, give you an update on the health, and take it from there.
So, where am I off to? Well, the other day, when I tried the camera for the first time, and I got it completely wrong because I didn't plug the microphone. Look, this is muddy. This is just solid mud here. I didn't, or slidey, shiny solid mud. I didn't plug the microphone. Sorry, I didn't switch I plugged the microphone in, but then there's another thing that you have to do to actually say that you want it to use the external microphone. A lot of things you tend to, it's plug and play. You sort of plug something in and it works, but not the case with this. So last time I went out to a Royal Enfield dealer because I am thinking of getting another bike, either a new one or whatever, because I need something that's just a little bit physically bigger and more comfortable so that I can actually go, yeah, you can get through there. So I can do longer term trips on it. I think I'm probably still going to do Scotland on this one. But I don't want a particularly big bike, and I also want something that can cruise more comfortably at sort of motorway speed, 70 miles an hour. I don't like motorways, but if you are on a motorway, you might as well get them done and dusted. So, bikes under consideration, if it's a new bike, it would probably be a Royal Enfield Gorilla. I will put a picture somewhere. See, I'm pointing upwards and that car driver's thinking, what's this guy doing? Is he signalling to me? No, I'm pointing at an imaginary picture. I'm going to go out for a test ride on it next nice dry day there is. The other option might be something like, if my fitness allows me to go off-road, a Honda, and I really like the CRF 300 Rally. Second hand, they're still quite expensive, they're about 6,000, and so what I'm doing now is I'm going to the Honda dealership just to have a look at one. I'm not going to test ride or anything, and that's one of the Hondas that Nora Schirmacher, otherwise known as Itchy Boots, used. She had the normal Honda CRF, I think that was a CRF 250 actually, in South Africa, and then she switched up to a CRF 300 Rally when she went round from Ecuador up to Alaska. Right, a bit of dual carriageway work. This is the weakness of this bike, and it's partly, to be honest, it's partly because I don't like to have the thing screaming at me, but it's not really screaming because these engines are absolutely designed to spin up to 9,000 revolutions a minute. Roads like this, slip roads like this, you really have to look out for diesel. Yeah, this is about 50 miles an hour, and that's plenty. It's probably about 55, about 6,500 revs. If I went for the CRF, that's taller, and that would help. I think that would be more comfortable, even if I didn't do a huge amount of off-road. Right, flip the visor up. That Land Rover is always parked there. It's very, very nice. There's a nice Tenere. There's always some decent bikes parked up here. And because we're on the way to Dover, there's a lot of people that stop off here on their way to the ferry. Very pleasant ride. So here we are, Honda dealership. They do have a second-hand CRF. It's not outside, so I'll go in and have a look at it. I'll show you a picture of it.
Right, so here's a Honda CRF 300 Rally. The Rally has got the bigger tank. There is another version of this which hasn't got the high screen. It's got a much smaller fuel tank, so you don't get the miles out of it. Lovely, lovely bike. I'm tempted with one of those, but I need to get my fitness up to a level where I could actually do some off-road riding, and I don't know if it's there yet. Over the last 6 months, my health has considerably better, and I've been feeling a lot better. I now need to work on building my fitness up and actually sort of consolidating on that. And there's no point in me getting a lovely off-road bike if I can't do that, because at the moment I'm doing these 10,000 steps and it's taking a lot of energy, and that's something that I should be able to do with no problem at all. But anyway, so the last 6 months have been about feeling better. The next year is going to be about kind of getting better. And on that, I said I'd give you a health update. I've been, for the last 6 months, since I was on a first lot of antibiotics, which made a massive difference to my health, cleared my brain fog, cleared a lot of my headaches. I've been on a cancer pathway, because that's one of the, with some of the additional symptoms I was getting. And I had a couple of cystoscopies. If you don't know what that is, don't look it up, particularly if you're a bloke, because it is not fun. And they found on my bladder wall a sort of lump about the size of a chickpea, and so they had to take a biopsy of it. And that biopsy and operation happened the beginning of January under general anaesthetic, thank goodness. I've got the results of that. It wasn't cancerous. They zapped it anyway with a lot of sort of heat and so on. Had the meeting with my consultant yesterday. Very pleased about that. Whilst I was under general anaesthetic, and just beforehand, I had another dose of antibiotics because some of my symptoms started to come back, and again I felt better. Whilst I was under general anaesthetic, I had a massive intravenous boost of antibiotics, and I feel absolutely fantastic after that. I discussed this with my consultant, and without sort of forcing the issue or me giving my opinions, she actually came up with some of the same conclusions that I've been thinking about. So this next 12 months, as well as getting my health up and feeling better, I need, unfortunately, to grab all of my notes and look through them and have a look and look to see what correlations and things, and see whether what I'm thinking and what she's thinking might be the case. I couldn't do it while I was not well because I had such brain fog that I didn't know what day it was half the time. My brain really, really wasn't working. So I'm not going to give you any details on that. It would be unfair because it might be wrong. I don't like doing anything sort of medical over on YouTube, because people might grab at it and so on, and there's some really bad medical advice on YouTube. But anyway, so the previous 6 months have been feeling better. The next 12 months is going to be getting better, building up strength, going on some mini adventures. Next month I'll talk about the way that I kind of stratify goals and things so that some of it makes sense. And I also need to do some admin to get very nearly about something sorted out with playlists and so on. But as you can imagine, I'm certainly relieved that what they found, and I had loads of tests. It wasn't just the cystoscopy. I've had everything you can imagine. I'm pleased that they found that it's not cancer, obviously. I'm almost as pleased, probably even in a way more pleased, that a nice side effect of this has been that I actually now feel better than I've felt in half a decade. Just need to find out why, because I don't want it to come back, and I want it to get an awful lot better. So there you are, very positive start to 2025. I've been telling all my friends that 2025 is going to be a good one. Who knows? Don't count your chickens too early. Anyway, look after yourselves, and I will see you next time.